Hey, science fans, consider this. Did you know that on some planets it actually rains diamonds? Solid, glittering, you could put it on a ring diamonds. And what if I told you that a common house cat, in the bizarre world of quantum mechanics, could be considered both alive and dead at the very same time? It sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie, but I assure you it's all based on real, mind-bending science. The universe is packed with incredible secrets and astonishing truths that are often stranger and more wonderful than anything we could ever imagine. Get ready, because we're about to explore some of the most shocking ones. Welcome, everyone, to 8 shocking science facts that will blow your mind. I'm so glad you're here to join me on this incredible journey through the cosmos, into the depths of our oceans, and even inside the tiny atoms that make up everything around us. This isn't your average science lesson, this is a high-speed tour of the weirdest, most fascinating discoveries that scientists are still trying to fully understand. We're going to challenge what you think you know about reality itself. So, buckle up your curiosity, put on your thinking caps, and prepare to have your perspective on the world completely and utterly transformed. In this video, we're going to dive headfirst into the wonders of science. We'll travel billions of kilometers away to witness diamond rain on gas giants, and we'll meet an 8-armed genius that might be smarter than we give it credit for. We will twist the very fabric of time with Einstein and peek into the quantum realm where the rules of our world simply don't apply. From radioactive fruit to immortal creatures, we're covering some of the most jaw-dropping topics in all of science. Each fact is a testament to the power of human curiosity and our relentless quest to understand the universe. So, are you ready to get your mind blown? I hope so, because the journey starts right now. We have so much to explore, so many questions to ask, and some truly astonishing answers to uncover. From the biggest cosmic events to the smallest subatomic particles, science is a story that's constantly unfolding, revealing new layers of complexity and beauty. Grab your lab coat or just a comfy seat, and let's dive into the amazing, sometimes shocking, and always wonderful world of science. Stay tuned, because you won't want to miss a single second of this. Let's journey to the mysterious ice giants, Uranus and Neptune, where the weather is truly out of this world. These planets have wild, swirling atmospheres of methane and hydrogen, with storms and pressures far beyond anything on Earth. Deep inside, intense pressure and lightning break apart methane, freeing carbon atoms that bond into diamonds, literally raining down through the planet. Scientists have recreated these conditions in labs, squeezing carbon-rich materials until they form tiny diamonds, confirming the diamond rain theory. As diamonds fall, they generate heat, helping explain why these planets are hotter than expected. And this might not be unique. There could be countless diamond worlds across the galaxy, so if you could scoop up a bucket of space diamonds, what would you do with them? Let's dive from the cold depths of space into the mysterious depths of our own oceans to meet one of the most alien-like intelligences on Earth, the octopus. When you look at an octopus, you're not just seeing a collection of tentacles and a squishy body, you're looking at a mind that evolved on a completely different path from our own. For more than 500 million years, the lineage that led to us, the vertebrates, and the lineage that led to octopuses, the cephalopods, have been evolving separately. This makes their intelligence all the more fascinating. It's like meeting an intelligent alien species without ever having to leave our planet. The octopus is a master of disguise, a brilliant hunter, and a notorious escape artist. But what's going on inside that bulbous head? And is head even the right word? The octopus's nervous system is radically different from ours. We humans have a centralized brain, a command center located safely inside our skulls that controls pretty much everything. An octopus, on the other hand, has a more distributed approach to thinking. While it does have a central brain, a significant portion, about 2/3 of its neurons, are located not in its head, but within its 8 incredible arms. This means that each arm can act semi-independently. An octopus arm can touch, taste, and move on its own, processing information and making decisions without direct input from the central brain. It's as if each arm has a mind of its own, all working in concert with the main brain. This distributed intelligence allows the octopus to perform incredibly complex tasks simultaneously, like exploring a crevice with one arm, holding onto a rock with another, and fending off a predator with a third. It's a level of multitasking that we can only dream of, a truly decentralized form of consciousness. And if that wasn't strange enough, Let's talk about their circulatory system. An octopus has not one, not two, but three hearts. Two of the hearts work exclusively to pump blood through the gills, the organs that extract oxygen from the water, while the third, larger heart circulates blood to the rest of the body. This unique three-heart system is highly efficient for their aquatic lifestyle, but it has a strange quirk. The main heart actually stops beating when the octopus swims. This is why they often prefer to crawl along the seafloor. Swimming is just too exhausting. It's another example of their unique biology shaping their intelligent behavior. The distributed brain of an octopus is a marvel of evolutionary engineering. With neuron-packed arms that can think for themselves, the octopus experiences the world in a way we can barely comprehend. Imagine if your arms and legs could explore your surroundings, identify food, and react to threats all on their own, while your main brain was busy contemplating a different problem. This is the everyday reality for an octopus. This neural setup allows for incredible dexterity and problem-solving abilities, which have been observed time and time again in both the wild and in laboratory settings. These creatures are not just passive inhabitants of the sea, they are active, curious learners. Researchers have documented countless examples of their stunning intelligence. Octopuses have been observed solving complex mazes to get a food reward, demonstrating not just problem-solving skills but also the capacity for learning and memory. They can remember the solutions to puzzles they've previously encountered and apply that knowledge to new situations. Some have even been seen using tools, a behavior once thought to be exclusive to a select few species like primates and birds. For instance, the veined octopus has been famously filmed collecting discarded coconut shells and carrying them around to use as a portable shelter, a clear sign of foresight and planning. Their reputation as escape artists is legendary in aquariums around the world. There are countless stories of octopuses figuring out how to unscrew lids on jars from the inside, dismantle plumbing to escape their tanks, and even sneak into neighboring tanks to steal food before returning to their own enclosure, leaving keepers baffled. One famous octopus named Inky at the National Aquarium of New Zealand reportedly escaped by squeezing through a small gap at the top of his tank, crawling across the floor, and sliding down a 50-meter-long drainpipe that led directly to the ocean. It was a prison break worthy of a Hollywood movie. These behaviors showed that octopuses possess a high degree of what we would call cognitive flexibility. The ability to adapt their thinking and behavior to new, unexpected, and complex situations. They are not simply acting on instinct. They observe, they learn, they remember, and they plan. They can even recognize individual human faces and will often treat different people differently, sometimes greeting a friendly keeper with a gentle touch or spraying a jet of water at someone they dislike. This level of personality and complex interaction challenges our very definition of what it means to be intelligent. The more we study octopuses, the more we realize that intelligence doesn't need to look like human intelligence. It doesn't require a backbone, a social structure, or even a single centralized brain. The octopus represents a completely separate experiment in the evolution of a complex mind. Their consciousness, if we can call it that, is likely a mosaic of sensations and decisions, a collaboration between a central self and 8 clever, semi-independent appendages. It's a distributed, embodied form of cognition that is deeply connected to its physical form and its environment in a way that ours is not. This raises some profound philosophical questions. What is it like to be an octopus? Can we ever truly understand a mind that is so fundamentally different from our own? When an octopus's arm explores a new object, is it the arm that is thinking or the central brain? Or is it both at once? This decentralized nervous system forces us to reconsider our assumptions about where thinking happens. For an octopus, the mind isn't just in the head, the mind is spread throughout the body. It's a powerful reminder that there are many ways for nature to build a thinking, feeling being. Scientists are still just scratching the surface of what these creatures are capable of. They have been observed showing signs of playfulness, another hallmark of high intelligence. Young octopuses have been seen repeatedly releasing objects into a current and then catching them, seemingly for no other reason than amusement. This kind of behavior, which serves no immediate survival purpose, suggests a level of curiosity and cognitive freedom that we typically associate with much higher animals. They are not just surviving, they are experiencing their world in a rich and complex way. So the next time you see an octopus, whether in an aquarium or a documentary, take a moment to appreciate the incredible mind at work. You're looking at a creature with 3 hearts, blue blood, and a brain that extends into its arms. It's a puzzle-solving, tool-using, escape artist genius that has mastered its underwater domain. Given their proven ability to learn, adapt, and overcome challenges in creative ways, it makes you wonder about the true limits of their intelligence. This leads me to a final, slightly unsettling question. Would you trust an octopus to outsmart you? Have you ever felt like time was flying by or maybe dragging on forever? What if I told you that's not just a feeling? Time itself can actually stretch and shrink. Time isn't a universal constant, ticking away the same for everyone. It's part of a grand cosmic tapestry called space-time. Albert Einstein realized that space and time are interwoven, and that speed and gravity can change how time flows. If you travel near the speed of light, your clock ticks slower than someone on Earth. Gravity can slow time too. Clocks run slower closer to massive objects. Even on Earth, a clock at sea level ticks a bit slower than one on a mountain. This isn't just theory. Your GPS relies on Einstein's relativity to work. So next time you use your phone to find pizza, thank Einstein for showing us just how weird and wonderful time really is. Let's shrink down, smaller than an atom. Welcome to the quantum realm where the rules of reality get weird. Here, particles can be in multiple places at once and exist in a cloud of possibilities until we look. This is where Schrödinger's cat comes in. Imagine a cat in a box, its fate tied to a random quantum event. Until we open the box, quantum theory says the cat is both alive and dead, a superposition of states. Schrödinger's cat is a paradox showing how quantum weirdness clashes with common sense. But this strangeness powers real technology, like quantum computers, which use superposition to solve problems classical computers can't. The quantum world is strange, but it's shaping our future. So, do you think reality is as weird as quantum physics? Alright, let's talk about a fruit that everyone knows and loves, the banana. It's the perfect on-the-go snack packed with nutrients and a staple in lunchboxes everywhere. But what if I told you that this humble yellow fruit holds a surprising secret? What if I told you that every single banana you've ever eaten has been slightly, just a little bit, radioactive? Now hold on, don't spit out your smoothie. This isn't something to be alarmed about. It's actually a fantastic example of how radioactivity is a natural and often harmless part of the world all around us. It's a natural phenomenon, not something from a science fiction movie. The reason for this fruity radioactivity comes down to one key element: potassium. Bananas are famous for being rich in potassium, which is an essential mineral for our bodies. It helps our nerves to function, our muscles to contract, and our heartbeat to stay regular. It's incredibly important for our health. Most of the potassium in the universe and in your banana is a stable form called potassium-39. However, like many elements, potassium has different versions of itself called isotopes. And a tiny, tiny fraction of all natural potassium is an isotope called potassium-40. And this specific one, potassium-40, happens to be radioactive. So what does it mean for potassium-40 to be radioactive? It means that its atomic nucleus is unstable. Over time, it will spontaneously decay, transforming into a more stable element. When it decays, it releases a tiny burst of energy in the form of a particle or a high-energy ray. This process of decay happens at a very, very slow rate. The half-life of potassium-40 is about 1.25 billion years. That means if you had a chunk of potassium-40, it would take 1.25 billion years for half of it to decay. So the radioactive events inside your banana are happening very infrequently, just a few per second. Because potassium is essential for life, potassium-40 is found in virtually all living things, including you. That's right, you are also slightly radioactive because of the potassium in your own cells. In fact, many common foods besides bananas, like potatoes, carrots, lima beans, and nuts, also contain natural potassium-40. It's an unavoidable part of our diet and our biology. The radioactivity in a banana is a perfect, everyday example of the background radiation that is a constant and natural feature of our environment, coming from the soil, the air, and even the cosmos. It's science you can eat. Now I know what you're thinking. The word radioactive can sound pretty scary. We associate it with nuclear power plants and atomic bombs. But it's all about the dose. The amount of radiation matters more than the source. To help put things into perspective and have a little fun with it, scientists and science enthusiasts have come up with an informal unit of measurement called the banana equivalent dose, or BED. One BED is the amount of radiation you're exposed to by eating one average-sized banana. It's a simple, relatable way to understand just how small this dose of radiation actually. Consider this. You're born, you grow up, you get older, and eventually, well, it's the circle of life for almost everything on Earth. But what if it wasn't? Deep in the ocean, there's a tiny creature that can hit the reset button on aging. Turritopsis dohrnii, the immortal jellyfish. When stressed, it reverts its cells back to youth, starting life over again, potentially forever. Imagine an 80-year-old turning into a baby to begin anew. It's not invincible, but it never dies of old age. This tiny jellyfish is a testament to evolution's creativity. It even resets its aging clock by restoring its telomeres. If a jellyfish can achieve biological immortality, could we? The science is incredible, but it raises big ethical questions. Would you want to be immortal like this jellyfish? Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered, where did all of this come from? Not just the stars, but everything. Us, this screen, the very air we breathe? Science tells us it all began with the Big Bang, a moment of unimaginable energy and density. Space itself began to expand, creating time, matter, and the laws of physics. From pure energy, the first particles formed, then atoms, then stars and galaxies. In the hearts of stars, elements like carbon and iron were forged. When massive stars died in supernovae, they scattered these elements across the cosmos. Over billions of years, these atoms formed new stars, planets, and eventually, us. You are, quite literally, stardust, a part of a cosmic story 13.8 billion years in the making. So, does knowing you're stardust change how you see yourself? Now let's bring our focus from the vastness of the cosmos right back inside our own heads. We've talked about the universe, but what about the universe? Your brain is, without a doubt, the most complex object we know of. It contains around 86 billion neurons, each connected to thousands of others, creating a network of trillions of connections. This intricate web is responsible for your thoughts, your memories, your emotions, your entire reality. It's like an incredibly powerful biological computer. And like any computer, it has an operating system. The question is, can we find the command line? Can we hack it? The idea of brain hacking might sound like science fiction, but it's rooted in a very real field of science called neuroscience. Scientists are constantly learning more about how our brains work, specifically how they learn and form memories. Learning isn't just some abstract concept, it's a physical process. When you learn something new, like a new language or how to play the guitar, you are literally rewiring your brain. You are strengthening the synaptic connections between specific neurons, creating new pathways for information to travel. The more you practice, the stronger and more efficient these pathways become, like paving a dirt road into a superhighway. So, if learning is a physical process, can we accelerate it? That's the billion-dollar question. Researchers are exploring all sorts of methods, from simple memory tricks to advanced neurotechnology. On the simpler end of the spectrum, we have techniques like spaced repetition. Instead of cramming for a test all at once, you review the information at increasing intervals. This signals to your brain that the information is important and worth holding on to, strengthening those neural connections over time. It's a low-tech hack that takes advantage of your brain's natural memory consolidation process, which happens while you sleep. But what about the high-tech stuff? This is where it gets really exciting. Scientists are experimenting with things like transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS, which uses magnetic fields to stimulate or inhibit specific areas of the brain. Early studies suggest it could potentially enhance learning and memory formation by priming the relevant parts of the brain for activity. Imagine getting a little magnetic boost to the language center of your brain right before your Spanish lesson. We're not quite there yet, but the potential is enormous. We're starting to decode the brain's very own programming language. Let's dive deeper into the toolkit of a potential brain hacker. One of the most powerful tools we all have access to is a good night's sleep. It might not sound like a hack, but it is absolutely critical for learning. While you're sleeping, your brain is hard at work. It's like a diligent librarian, sorting through the experiences of the day, filing away important information into long-term memory, and clearing out the junk. This process is called memory consolidation. Skipping sleep is like telling that librarian to take the night off. You end up with a messy, disorganized library where you can't find anything. Another fascinating area is the use of mnemonic devices. These are memory aids that help you link new information to something you already know, creating a sort of mental shortcut. You probably used one to learn the order of the planets or the colors of the rainbow. For example, creating a vivid, absurd story to remember a list of items is far more effective than just repeating the list. This works because our brains are wired to remember stories and images, especially unusual ones, much better than abstract data. It's a way of tricking your brain into paying closer attention and creating stickier, more robust memories. Then there's the concept of chunking. Our short-term memory can only hold a limited amount of information at once, typically around 7 items. Chunking is the process of grouping individual pieces of information into larger, meaningful units. Think about how you remember a phone number. You don't remember it as 10 separate digits, you remember it as 3 chunks, the area code, the prefix, and the last 4 digits. This technique reduces the cognitive load on your brain, allowing you to process and remember more complex information by breaking it down into manageable bites. It's a simple but incredibly effective organizational hack. And we can't talk about brain hacking without mentioning neurofeedback. This is a technique where you get real-time feedback on your own brainwave activity. You're hooked up to an EEG machine that monitors your brain, and you watch a screen that tells you what your brain is doing. The goal is to learn how to consciously control your brainwaves, for example, to enter a state of focused attention or deep relaxation on command. It's like weightlifting for your brain, training your mental muscles to perform better. The applications for enhancing focus and learning speed are truly tantalizing. So where is all this heading? What does the future of learning look like if we can successfully hack our brains? Imagine a world where learning a new complex skill doesn't take years of grueling practice, but weeks or even days. Think about students being able to absorb their lessons with perfect recall, or surgeons learning new intricate procedures with the help of neurostimulation that enhances their motor skills. The potential to accelerate human progress is almost unimaginable. It could revolutionize education, medicine, and every field of human endeavor. Of course, with great power comes great responsibility and a lot of ethical questions. If we can enhance our cognitive abilities, who gets access to this technology? Will it create a new divide in society between the enhanced and the unenhanced? What are the long-term side effects of directly manipulating our brain's chemistry and electrical signals? These are not easy questions, and they are ones we'll need to grapple with as a society as this technology continues to develop. The science is moving incredibly fast, and our ethics will need to keep pace. We must ensure these tools are used to uplift all of humanity. Beyond targeted neurotech, we're also learning more about how lifestyle affects our brain's plasticity, its ability to change and adapt. Things like diet, exercise, and even mindfulness meditation have been shown to have profound effects on cognitive function and our ability to learn. Exercise, for example, increases blood flow to the brain and promotes the growth of new neurons. Meditation can improve focus and emotional regulation. These aren't quick fixes, but they are sustainable, science-backed ways to optimize our brain's performance for the long haul, making it a better, more efficient learning machine. Ultimately, the quest to hack our brains is a quest to understand ourselves on the deepest possible level. It's about unlocking the full potential of this incredible organ that allows us to dream, create, and learn in the first place. Whether it's through simple memory tricks, a good night's sleep, or futuristic neuro-gadgets, we are on the cusp of a new era in personal development and education. The ability to shape our own minds is becoming less science fiction and more science fact. So it makes you wonder, if you could instantly master any skill, what skill would you learn if you could hack your brain? Wow, what a journey. From the fiery hearts of stars where the atoms in our bodies were forged, to the incredible possibility of hacking our own brains to learn at super speed. We've seen that the universe is a place of diamond rain, immortal jellyfish, and mind-bending physics. Science isn't just a subject in a textbook, it's a story of discovery, a constant adventure into the unknown. It shows us that reality is often far stranger, more beautiful, and more awe-inspiring than anything we could ever invent. The more we learn, the more we realize how much more there is to discover. The most important thing is to never stop being curious. Every great scientific discovery started with a simple question: why, how, what if? It's that innate human drive to understand the world around us that pushes the boundaries of knowledge forward. So keep asking questions. Question everything. Look at a banana and wonder about its radioactivity. Look at the stars and wonder about your cosmic origins. These questions are the seeds of understanding, and nurturing them is what science is all about. Which of these incredible facts blew your mind the most? We want to hear from you. Drop your favorite fact in the comments below. Was it the idea of being made of stardust, or the thought of an octopus outsmarting you? Let's get a conversation going. And if you enjoyed this journey through the wild world of science, do us a huge favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel and tells us you want to see more content just like this. Your support means the world to us, and it allows us to keep exploring these amazing topics together. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. We're just scratching the surface of all the shocking, weird, and wonderful truths the universe has to offer. Next time, we'll be uncovering even crazier facts that will challenge your perception of reality all over again. Thanks for watching, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video. Consider this: your world is about to get a whole lot bigger. See you soon.